Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and I thought today we would talk about chainsaws when it comes to your bars and chains and everything you need to know as a homeowner. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. Today I thought we'd talk about chainsaws. I've seen a lot of videos out there that are kind of giving mixed messages to guys like you. They make it hard to try to figure out, how do I get the right chain for the right bar, and how do I buy the right bar for the right saw, and then what about my sprocket? Do I have to count how many teeth are on my sprocket? The answer is no. Let's start there, all right? With your sprockets. All right, so on your sprockets, they come in both 7 and 6 tooth. Here. So why do they come in 7 and 6? All right. If you want a high revving saw that will cut fast, the 7 will spin the chain faster with your RPMs up there, okay? And then the 6 is more giving you power in the wood. Is the best way I can describe it for you. Is, you know, once you get into a log and you're cutting down through, the 6 is going to give you the power in behind to really, you know, because the chain is moving slower, but you have more power on it. I know with my brother-in-law, he loves his John Surred, and he runs a 7, but John Surred is a high revving saw to start with. But once he gets into the wood, it slows down, it gets bogged down. That's the only difference. Does it matter what chain I run if I'm running the 5 or the 6? No. All the sprocket does for you, the 6 or the 7, is just the speed and how much low end power it has once it's in the log. Don't worry about it. That's your choice. Both will work, but it's your choice on how you have it. Alright, so now that we know that the sprocket, the only thing we need to know about the sprocket, okay, is what size it takes. Like this one here is a .325 pitch. So you're going to have to run a .325 chain to that sprocket if you went with this 7 tooth. And like with this 6 tooth, this one is running at 3/8. So I mean, there are different sprockets for different size chains and how they run in the groove. So the other stuff that's kind of muddied the water is, if I have a steel chainsaw and this one here is an MS 170, okay, how do I get the correct bar and chain? And here's the kicker, is these saws, the MS 180, can come in two different, it could be the same bar length, but it will come in like 3/8 pitch versus, you know, .043 pitch. But it's the same 16-inch bar, and it's on, they're both being sold on the MS 170 right directly from the dealers. So you have to match the bar to the saw and the chain to the sprocket and the bar. Another question, do I have to buy the steel bar for this, for my steel chainsaw? No. This one here is running a rotary bar. We sell the rotaries, okay? Move some of this stuff around. Well, see, like both of these bars here, this one's a 14. No. This one's a 14 and this one's a 12. What I can tell you is both of these bars will mount onto this saw. So if I wanted to go with a shorter bar, I could go with a shorter bar. I wouldn't put anything much longer than a 16. Most of them are coming through a 16. I like the 14. I run the 14 with it. It's the problem if you get too big of a saw for what you're working on. That's the other thing, is matching your chainsaw to what you're doing. You know, if you're doing logs that are like this big around, a 16 might be better, because you want to be able to at least be able to hit this side and then go over onto this side and be able to cut completely through it, or you're just wasting your time. But if you've got, you know, smaller stuff like this, a 14 is perfect. And I find with most homeowners, the shorter the bar, the less chance they have of putting it into the dirt. And that's the worst thing you can do, is put it into the dirt. And I see these guys will go out and buy a big Husqvarna, you know, with a 20-inch bar, and they're cutting like stuff this big around. And that's, to me, is asinine, all right? But no, this saw will run a rotary, will run the Oregons, it'll run the Forester Pros, it'll run the Silver Streaks, but you have to make sure that your bar matches what you're running here on this saw. And then you have to match the chain to what you're running here for a bar and your sprocket. All these things have to add up. But this is telling us it's a 14-inch bar, 0.043, and 50 drive links. Now the other thing I get asked is, does it matter how the bar goes on? Because I've seen them run upside down before. No. What I recommend, what I do with my own saw when I'm running it, is every second fill up, I take in the file and I touch up my saw to keep it good and sharp, because you can get a lot more wood cut if it's sharp versus being dull. And when I do that, I'll flip the bar over so that I'm getting the same wear on the top as I am the bottom. And that'll make the bar last longer by every couple of sharpens, flip the bar completely upside down. The only thing you need to be concerned with is that the teeth are facing the right direction. I've had them come in and tell me that they couldn't get it to cut. It was duller than heck. And they had the actual teeth facing this direction where it can't cut. The cutter head is here, it's not on the back side of it. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is don't overcomplicate it. The other question I get is, how often should I replace my sprocket? This sprocket is original for this saw, and I've had it 3 years and I haven't had to replace it. So I wouldn't worry so much about the sprocket. The main thing we need to worry about is making sure we match the correct chain to the correct bar. And with this, I know that it's a 3/8 sprocket, it's a 6 tooth. So I need to run 3/8 chain, and I need to run a bar that is also running 3/8, and the bar difference is going to be the length, whether you're 12 inches, 14 inches, or 16 inches. That will dictate, you know, what bar to have and what chain. All of it's got to equal 3/8 for the pitch, to use this sprocket. That's the only thing. You want to match 3/8 chain with a 3/8 bar. Other than that, it's going to be your drive links, how much longer they are from one another. And this is the 50E. And then the other difference, like you can run two different 3/8 chain, and one be the low profile like this one, which is a pico chain, versus this chain, which is, you can see, is a lot bigger, not just length because it may be a different bar, but this is also 3/8 regular. So most of your stuff that's under 16-inch, I recommend to get, for the homeowner, to get the low profile, which is the pico. The have anti-kickback setup in the chain, so you know the safer the chain is to you is what counts, right? So what did we learn today? we learned, okay, that you don't have to run a steel bar and chain on a steel. You can run a rotary, Oregon, Silver Streak, you know, the Forester series. The only thing that you have to make sure of is that it fits your saw. And Oregon is very good about telling exactly what saw it fits for a bar. The easiest way to do it, honestly, is to buy it locally and just take the whole saw with you right to the shop, so that somebody like me can take a quick look at it. I can see what the bar is calling for, and I can get you the right chain. I'm going to push it into a low profile anti-kickback, you know, for the homeowner, and send you on your way. But most times, most people are buying online, right? So you should be able to get all that information right off the bar on what chain you're running, okay? So I hope that's helped some of you guys. And on that note, if you could like, share, subscribe, it'd be great. All right, catch you on the next video.